God damn.
All right,
bang,
time.
bang,
It's
bang,
time.
bang. All right, guys. Now, we've looked in the last several weeks about a lot of things happening in East Asia and how that often can be a little bit more crucial of a set of information for us to look at than some of the things we distract ourselves with here in the United States. But we're going to take a little bit more of a look at how China, or more specifically, how the CCP's actions have affected attitudes towards them over the last year and what they've got to say about it. So, reasonably interesting, man. Let's go to the screens here.
Those sons of bitches.
Yeah, China has reached a major milestone in ending absolute poverty, but the CCP isn't celebrating yet. Now, of course, they shouldn't be celebrating. They're commies. They're not allowed to have anything extravagant or spend money on themselves, which they do not have. Also, if there was any kind of party in a communist country, to me, that sounds like one person has more than another and would be thoroughly against their doctrines, right?
Yep.
I would imagine it's no fun allowed for the most part, if I had to guess. But
I would agree, yeah.
nonetheless, they aren't celebrating, even though they reached a major milestone in ending poverty. Can you imagine how the CCP might reach a milestone in ending the massive starvation that happens in their fucking country?
Pretend it's not there.
What could it possibly fucking be? Chinese doctors jailed for illegally harvesting organs of accident victims. Holy shit, Phil. They're just killing everybody. They're just killing them, man. That's all.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, how do you deal with the hunger problem? You just start killing people. Harvest them.
Be poor when you're dead.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, I tell you what, we'll only take you killing people for so fucking long before we start getting a little bit angry about it. House to vote on booting Chinese stocks from U.S. over audit rules. Now, I think this might be the right idea, man. Chinese stocks participating in U.S. stock markets kind of gives an open door to some level of manipulation. Maybe not a huge level of manipulation, but it makes the eagle flap a bit, Phil. You know what I mean?
It does. It's letting strangers into your house.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah.
I don't see a problem with maybe keeping the U.S. stock market to U.S. stocks. That doesn't bother me when I see that. You know,
Sounds reasonable.
Sounds reasonable. And I don't know what the Chinese would have a problem with it about. Oh, wait, you can't make a huge profit in America? Aren't you guys all about abhorring money worship? Aren't you supposed to be fucking communists, man?
Yeah, why should they be allowed to interact in a capitalist system?
Yeah, I mean,
They're
why
communists.
are we facilitating a country that treats their people like shit by telling them that they're all communists and then acts as a capitalist on the international scale? And here the fuck it is right here. Officials in China abhor money worship. A dating show glorifies it. So there's some dumb dating show in China. People love it. It's blowing up, but that's very much capitalism, and now they're pretending they're fucking angry about it. Well, that's going to be a little bit of an X to doubt from me, CCP, because they have had no problem taking our American USDs for quite a goddamn while now. So to pretend that they hold any kind of real communist morality fucking high ground bullshit is false at the very fucking least, man.
They keep this shit up, they're going to take our American D, that's right.
You got that right. And the thing is, it's not just that they're faking it at home. It's that they're becoming so obvious about it. China and Russia have an interest in improving Iran's economy. Well, you don't fucking say.
No shit. And military. That's the next word is military.
And military.
No shit.
Yeah, wow. You're only 6 months behind everything we're doing on this show, and I'm a cartoon fucking ghost, man. Yes, so China and Russia, the communists, are improving a foreign economy? That sounds very capitalist to me.
And a foreign economy in the area of the world that facilitates better access to their proxy wars?
You don't fucking say, oh, wait a minute. Is it also a part of the world that's deemed extremely valuable for the types of resources that they have in the ground there?
Intensifies.
Yeah,
That's right.
Very intensified on the hmms. God damn, man. So, again, we see enough of this shit and we eventually get fucking tired of it. U.S. sanctions Chinese and Russian firms over holding up Iran. And it's for exactly that fucking reason, man. You cannot
Damn right.
pretend for all of these years that you're communists and thusly we, the capitalist country, are evil so that you can convince your people to buy war bonds, or whatever the fuck it is they do in communist countries.
Buy war bonds.
Buy war bonds, yeah, right. So for them to, again, be this two-faced, where they treat their people so poorly and then act as very much as a capitalist on the international market, and they're propping up an economy of a country that glorifies the destruction of America, and then the UN puts all that whole crew, Xi Jinping and the Beijing Bling, they all get put on the fucking UN Human Rights Council, and then act surprised when the U.S. wants to sanction some of this shit. Well, what the fuck did you think was gonna happen, man?
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
When somebody says to you, man, we should have free healthcare in the U.S., go, yeah, you're right. I think we should stop contributing to the United Nations. It's really what the fuck that is, man. So
Absolutely. I completely agree.
So what's the big deal with Iran this week? Well, unfortunately, if you don't know, Iran's top nuclear scientist killed in apparent assassination. State media reports.
Shit.
So there's some important things to notice in a headline like this. Yeah, top nuclear scientist killed. All right. Iran has been claiming that they just want to build nuclear power, even though we've seen pictures of the missiles and they made a weapons deal with China. Oh, yeah. They just want to build power. Right, I'm sure. Apparent assassination, as in we don't know for sure, but that's what it looks like to us. We don't know. Yeah. And then maybe the most important clause here, state media reports.
State media.
Isn't that interesting?
I don't buy it.
Yeah, I don't buy it either. The assassination of a top Iranian nuclear scientist briefly explained. Thanks, Vox. I'm sure this is totally accurate information. The important part to get from this is Iran immediately blamed their mortal enemies, the Israelis. Now, the Israelis say they didn't do it, but who knows? Those motherfuckers have been trying to kill each other for a long time. But I will say it's awfully fucking convenient, isn't it?
It is, and it's awfully fucking convenient that the state media would report it, considering they have a special interest in the state.
It's interesting that the state media would report something they don't know the answer to, and yet find a way to facilitate increasing national hatred of somebody they deem to be their enemy. Isn't that a fucking surprise? Iran's supreme leader vows revenge after top nuclear scientists, again, apparently assassinated. We still don't know for sure, right?
Vows revenge.
Revenge. Now,
that is some fucking fantastical shit right there,
It certainly is. Now, I'm not a big supporter of foreign aid. I don't particularly think Israel needs aid from the United States, but I will say that we did broker a deal with them in the UAE, and recently at least have been generally friendly as far as national interests are concerned between the two of us. We've also got some new friends in the region. Now, let me ask you this, Phil. If you're Iran and you're in a situation where you're being almost completely financially backed by two larger communist countries who both have it out for the fucking United States as well,
China and Russia.
That's right, and that's correct. And you are also a large participant in handing some of that money off to be the financial backing for holding up the establishment in Syria, where the U.S. and Russia are fighting a proxy war over who should lead that fucking country, starring Assad. Right? Okay, so we remember that story too. So let's say you're in that position. Now, China and Russia, after making weapons deals with you, while you claim to the world stage that you only wanted to build a power plant, even though we've seen the pictures of your missiles, suddenly want to tighten the purse strings a little bit. You know how it is. Once you're in the pocket, you have no choice. Now they can force you to do whatever they want you to do because you have no choice but to keep that fucking money going or everything sucked. Everything sunk. How
honestly,
much does it cost?
I don't think that they don't want to do. I don't think they don't want to do what China wants them to do. But yeah, you're right.
Right. I'm saying, how much does it cost for Iran to just assassinate their own fucking scientists in order to give them an excuse for international conflict?
Blame the main on Spain.
Blame the main on Spain. How likely is it that this guy is the Lusitania? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, this is, what's his name? Archduke
Ferdinand.
Yeah, man. Yeah. This sounds very suspicious on those very same levels to me, particularly when every time that we talk about Iran, in every breath, it has to include China and Russia, because the financial backing is so tightly woven into what their political operations have been in the last year. So to assume that they're not looking out for those countries' interests while they're simultaneously saying, fuck the United States, we can't wait to bomb them, we're going to go into Syria, we're going to do all of these fucking things, blah, blah, blah. Now, they reach out, kill one of their own guys, blame it on somebody who's kind of semi-allied with the United States. See how that goes. Well, Iran, as we've seen in the past, is not a great operator. They've blown up their own factories. They've hit themselves with missiles. This is what happens when you let the church run the military. They really have fucked it up several times in the last year. So China, again, their fucking beneficiary, tries to come in and kind of clean all this stuff up for them a little bit, right? China state media slams Iran scientists killing.
Slam!
As U.S. slapped sanctions on Beijing firms. So China said, fuck all that. They were more vague. They blamed the West. That's what they said.
Of course.
Now,
the West means us.
That means America, of course. Yeah, that's fine. But they said it's the West's fault that this happened. So they're creating a more generalized hatred that they can mobilize among their populace to give a better excuse for international conflict. Where Iran's plan only worked locally, China is better about thinking globally, and they've found a way to make it East versus West, which is really what they're looking for anyway, because that allows them and Russia to do what they need to do, right?
Absolutely.
Now, while, again, even though the media in America is way fucking behind what we do on the Fright Power Hour, still, we see this shit and we'll only wait for so fucking long. U.S. sanctions Chinese firms claiming they're promoting Iran's missile program. Oh, you don't fucking say!
Holy
God
shit.
damn it, Phil. I'm getting pretty tired of being right. I want to come up with some new shit, but I can't stop getting fucking... I literally said this exact fucking shit how long ago? You know, and here we are. And here
it's like, wait. I think I've seen this one before. Yeah,
dude. I'm a cross between a Michael fucking J. Fox meme and a Brad Pitt meme right now, pointing at the screens. That's all I can fucking do, man. So, you know, goddamn, Big Brother China cleans up Iran's mess for the umpteenth time this year. They're backing a fucking country that said out loud that they want to bomb us. Not great. They're also butting up with the Russians, who have made it very clear how they feel about the United States as a whole. They're willing to deal with us, but they're not our friends. You know what I mean? Now, that could just be me. I grew up during the Cold War, but still, that's what I feel. They're the fucking Reds, as far as I'm concerned, man.
They're the bad guys, yeah.
Right, but after all of this, we've talked a lot recently about China being really fucking bold. They're starting to get real arrogant about the way that they're acting because nobody's doing anything about it. They think they're getting away with everything because they're not watching the Fright Power Hour. But after doing all of this shit, man, everything that's happened in the past and everything that we've looked at today, not only backing these countries, but just the way that they're treating their own people. They've had fucking slavery, genocide. They've dropped rockets on rural villages. They've had starvation and disease. Holy shit, this is a country where people who actually have jobs kill themselves. They have to have suicide nets outside of office buildings, Phil. That's fucked up. That is fucked up. This country, after all of this, says Beijing doesn't want the U.S. to form an anti-China coalition in the post-Trump era. Don't be mean to us.
Don't say bad things about China.
Yeah, meanwhile, when they say anti-China coalition, China, Russia, and Iran are what I would call an anti-U.S. coalition. Now, I know the United Nations wouldn't agree with me on that, but nonetheless, they've all made it pretty fucking clear how they feel about international diplomacy with the United States. And now, no surprise, communists turn out to be a bunch of fucking babies Oh, don't gang up on us. We only have the highest population in the fucking world. So, you know, at the end of the day, what I have to say about it is this. Don't trust China. China is asshole.
Yeah.
And that's the truth as I see it. You consider yourself newsed. Woo! And that's your segment. Sha, 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 sha.
I'm not a criminal. I'm an artist working in an unpopular medium.
Can I just speak to you? I mean, really speak to you like man to man. I've known you for a long time, William. And I know about your penchant for spying on women.